The intro, Calais Campbell, NFL superstar, one of my great friends, a catalyst to why I started my charity and really set out to try and inspire more people. And obviously, I don't look up to a ton of friends I have. Well, I mean, I guess you do, but you're one of those guys who's always just been a light in the room. Anyone I ever talked to, strangers, like, oh, you're friends with Calais? He's like the nicest guy on earth, which is incredible because you're like 9 feet tall, a giant, doing incredible things. So always proud to call you my friend. Glad we could talk. And yeah, just want to get your story out there to people who may not know about just, we see the success now. What did it look like when you were 17? Where were your struggles? When have you kind of needed to be picked back up and that sort of thing?
Oh man, I mean, honestly, everybody has to go through things. Adversity is a part of life. To live is to struggle, right? And so, I feel like, I had my childhood where, honestly, looking back on it, it was an incredible childhood. Even when I was in the moment, we experienced hardships, but we stayed as a family. My dad did a really good job of, like helping us to understand that everything is temporary. Nothing that you're going through is permanent. And just if you can stay focused, stay the course, you can get back to where you want to be. And I mean, in my childhood, we moved a lot mainly because, we got evicted, couldn't pay the bills at times. And then you move back into something better. And so, I remember at the best of it, we were in a 5-bedroom house, had my own room. At the worst of it, we lived in a homeless shelter. So it just a lot of ups and downs. But the thing that, was instilled in me is that no matter what happens in the outside world or whatever you're going through, as long as we're, as long as we're together and, you have the necessities, we'll be okay. And I mean, health, our faith, and then each other, family, that's it. And so, that's all we really needed: food and water and all that good stuff. And, I mean, childhood was great memories. Um, I mean, there's a lot of other adversity things I've been through in my life, but I feel like at the end of the day, adversity is just a part of it. That's just kind of, what you go through to be able to appreciate the finer things. You have to experience pain to understand what it feels like for all the beauty in the world. You need the rain to appreciate the sunshine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of my favorite stories you have, or just an interesting story. I feel like we've talked about this where, I've never met my biological father, and forever you were like embarrassed about it. Like I was embarrassed about it. I've talked to friends or just you hit it. And at some point, whether it was age 24, 28, all of a sudden you went from like an embarrassing thing, like, wow, that was my strength. I remember you've talked about how like you'd go to school in clothes that you didn't want people to see. And like you go through that stuff where like before it was mortifying and now you're like, damn, like that was incredible. Do you have like stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with like being in a homeless shelter, I never talked about that until I was at the NFL, was successful. And honestly, I realized that like sharing my story can help other people who are going through that same thing. Other kids who are in homeless shelters right now, or going through some tough time that's similar. They can feed off of me and know that if you work hard and you really dedicate yourself, your circumstances are only temporary. And so yeah, but it is crazy though, because when you're a kid, you don't understand that. I was just embarrassed. I was just a kid, that didn't want to be teased too much, like anybody else, But I did have a good understanding that, like, like, people might tease you, but if you show love, you get love back. And so, like, I got teased a bunch for being tall and, you know, uncoordinated, moving around all goofy. But and not having nice clothes. I didn't get the new never. Everything was past hand me downs. But at the end of the day, I mean, I did well in school. Had good friends. My childhood memories are great.
Yeah. Is there on the positive side as well? Is there any like moment or what was that moment where all of a sudden like the hair on the back of your neck stood up like, oh my God, like I've made it? Like was there something like that that just kind of popped out in your mind or a couple moments?
Well, I will say because like I mean, when you think about like just what I wanted in life and what I was really like working for, I knew the journey was special, and my dad did a really good job of me understanding like you can have a goal and the process you go through, like you have to appreciate it, you have to embrace the grind, you have to go through all the hardships and pay the price for what you want in life, whatever the reward may be. And, I knew I wanted to go to the NFL. That was a lifelong dream of mine. And I knew probably in high school, I had, started having that real confidence, like, I can really do this. If I sacrifice and pay the price, I can really do this. And I just remember getting recruited by all the top schools and like being able to pick what school I wanted to go to and know that I was going to have a full scholarship and a meal plan, and, just not have to worry about, where I'm gonna eat, just, I'm eat good. And just have that security for really the first time, in my life. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, I'm like, there's coaches coming in out of school every week, pretty much. I'm having like 10 coaches come by weekly, talking to my coach, talking to my teachers, trying to get a feel for if they want to recruit me. Then, they see me in the hallway and they're, trying to solicit, me to go to school there. And I'll never forget, but like, just, the University of Miami, they just stood out above everybody else. And I'm like, man, I used to hate University of Miami when I was young because they would always win. And so I was like, oh man, root for the underdog always. And then when they started recruiting me and I became a fan, then I became like, all that went out the window. But I was the biggest, diehard Canes fan, for the whole year that I was committed to go to school there before I actually went, and ever since then too. But I think the aha, like having the nut back your neck, is just knowing that, like, like I was going to school like the top place that you can go. You couldn't go to a better school. At the time, Miami was the cream of the crop. And just, then, even then though, there's still a lot of adversity, because I'm just a kid from Colorado. I'm 6'8", but I'm 225, skin and bones. Like, I mean, literally, my first day on campus, all the D linemen laughed at me when they found out I was a D lineman because I was so skinny. And like, just literally teasing me galore. And even like all my friends back home were like, man, you're going to the University of Miami. You're going to play against, you're going up against guys who are like from Miami, who are like, going to be faster than you, stronger than you, all the different things. And I'm starting to think to myself, like, I don't know. I mean, I ain't never been to Miami before. I don't know how, that, are they gifted dime or not. I don't know. But I knew one thing for sure is I worked. I was going to work, and they were going to work me. So, that was another thing my mom and dad instilled in me. It's like, if you want to be the best, you got to outwork everybody else. Everybody has talent. Everybody's gifted. The people who who win the most, people who have the most success, they're the ones that work the hardest. And, that was instilled in me young. And then it was just reiterated over time when I see people who I want to be like. When I got to the University of Miami, and I'm in, and I'm in the summer program, and I see Ed Reed and Andre Johnson and Reggie Wayne doing the same workouts I was doing, and doing it with enthusiasm, out there talking trash,
Yeah.
while they go in there killing the workout. It's just like, man, like, like, but you realize, like, the reason why Ed Reed is special is because he put the work in. He sacrificed, he paid the price. And then, again, when I got to the NFL with Larry Fitzgerald, I mean, he was the hardest working person in the building, hands down. And that's why he was, all pro and Pro Bowler every year, and, first ballot Hall of Famer, because, so it was reiterated over and over again in my life.
Yeah, no, I get that. I talk to kids about that all the time, like the Kobe Bryants or the Michael Jordans. Like they could have rested on just being, their own skill, and they still have been 9 out of 10 players. They've still been amazing. But what kind of put them to that 10 out of 10 is, like you said, you can always just be a really good player, but if you want to be the best, I mean, I think that's the most important thing. That's one regret I have in my life. I was a decent soccer player, a good one, and I wish I would have put in the extra work or had something like that, like you said, just to work harder and such. I won't keep too much longer. At maybe another question or two with, I mean, if you 16, 15 years old, kind of down, not sure, a little nervous, what would you say to that kid who's in high school and just needs something over the hump? Or, I mean, what kind of pick me up? I know you've mentioned hard work and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think one thing I tell like rookies when they come to the league is be bold, because like that's something I wish I would have heard when I was younger. I mean, hard work. I mean, that's kind of the industry standard. Everybody knows you got to work hard. But like, there's no substitute for that. You have to work hard. You can't get around that. But then if you really want to excel, be bold. Be confident. Be bold. Take calculated chances, calculated risks that are going to put you in a position to be successful. I mean, we're in the business of risk versus reward. Everything you do. I mean, we have choices. We always have choices. And it's like, do I want to, and this is on the higher level of people who really want to be the elite of the elite. but you try to decide, like, should I play multiple sports? Should I only concentrate on football or soccer or whatever it may be? Should I go and do the summer camp? Should I do weight program? Whatever it may be, you got to figure out, what it is for you that works. But at the end of the day, man, like sometimes there's gonna be that opportunity that's kind of like you're not sure about, and it's like, yo, if you really want it, be bold, take chances, and really, give it your all, which is cliche, but it's real. I mean, it's not for everybody. Everybody's gifted in some way or another, but in the sports world, you can work really, really hard to still not get it. But I feel like really this is for anything in life too, though. But like, I want something really bad, and as of right now, I don't have it. But if I work really, really hard, I give it my all. I sell out, leave everything I got to get that, and I don't get it. I can live with that. I can live with knowing I gave it my best shot, and if it didn't happen, it just wasn't meant to be. But I couldn't live with not giving it my all, not giving it my best shot, and then not really knowing if I could have made it or not. And like with football, like everybody told me that football was unlikely. It was very unlikely, and I took that to heart. I had the mentality is like, all right, I got to get back to playing. I'm gonna do well in school, get my degree. I graduated 3.5 years, and I knew that there were some opportunities for me if football didn't work out. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna give football the best shot. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna give everything I got and see what happens. Because I know it's a long shot. It's hard for anybody in the NFL, and just happened to be that that hard work paid dividends. And at the end of the day, I could live with not making it. Just because I would have been that character that you build along the process goes into everything else you do in life. I have a standard of excellence that I feel like becomes just habits, doing things at a high level. Creating habits of greatness. Doing everything you can at a standard of excellence so
Yeah.
that it just kind of becomes a second nature. And everything you do in life, you just have that high level. And so if I was really giving advice to a kid, be bold, but also practice good habits. Greatness is habits and small things. Just continuously doing the small things right. So often that it becomes second nature. So that when you just roll out of bed, you're doing everything at the highest level. You walk around, great for that period of time. And everything is always going up and down. You will have bad days, and bad days happen. Whatever it may be, whatever your goals are, you might mess up for 3, 4 days in a row. Like, dang, all right. Well, all right, roll your sleeves up, start back over. Get back on the horse, just keep riding. And so, pick yourself up. Don't feel too sorry for yourself. But it's okay to grieve. It's okay for you to feel defeated and have days where it's just all bad. And then take a deep breath. Ask yourself if you really want it, and if you do, go and make it happen. Give it your best shot.
Yeah, I love that you talk about greatness, is watching documentaries on, the Jordans, the Kobe's, wherever it is, and just being around you and successful people. An interesting fact about Calais, and it's amazing, is he literally thinks he can be the best at every single thing. And it's like, no joke. Like we're talking to you, oh, boxer? He's like, yeah, if I wanted to be, I would be the heavyweight champ. I'm like, swimmer? Yeah, I would be the best swimmer on earth. And you think he's like joking, but you're seeing at breakfast and you're like, no, he's like dead straight. Like he will be the best at everything. And it rubs off on you. Like being around Tom Brady, I remember just watching him. I had like front row seats and I got hit with like this aura of just energy and confidence. It's crazy. So yeah, being around people like you, I think another good topic is one day is just surrounding yourself with good people, right? Like you can be in
Yeah.
bad situations, but
Surround
surrounding
yourself with
yourself with
people
hard
like
people.
you. That's for sure. Surround yourself with people who want the same things you want or have a same kind of goal oriented like you are. And I will say, I do believe that like if it can be done, why can't I do it? And so like and I feel like everybody should have the same mentality. I'm capable of learning things. I know I'm gonna work hard and develop the skill the best I can. And so if it can be done, why can't I do it? And the one thing though, swimming, I don't think I could be the best swimmer. I'm not gonna be an Olympian swimmer. I believe I tried when I was like 6, and whole body's different, but I can't even float. But boxing, basketball, I think I could have been a great goalie. I mean, whatever it is, businessman, whatever it may be, I feel like I know I would be successful. I know I could be one of the best in that world because I was gonna pay the dues. I was gonna pay my dues. I was gonna develop the skill to be the very best because I know that that's what it takes. And for anybody who who thinks that any football player who's great just rolls out of bed and just is a great football player, you're mistaken. This is a daily grind. It's, lots of hours and time to figure out how I could be the best version of myself on the football field. And I know I could do that same recipe in so many other walks of life. But two things I know I can't do is swim. Like at a high level, elite level, I can swim, but not at elite level. Make music. I don't think I'll never make music at an elite level. But but there are pretty much anything else. I believe that if I put the time and effort in, which I know I would, there's not a doubt in my mind I could be the best in the world.
Yeah, definitely. And sign up, I wanted to tell people about the CRC Foundation. You've donated millions. Last year, you were doing a Sacks for donation campaign. Yeah, just end off. I don't want to keep you too much. What do you got next planned for CRC? And give them a quick spiel about that.
Yeah, it's crazy though. We tracked how much we've given, and it's over $1 million. Not millions unless you count the Miami thing, but that's kind of separate.
Yeah, Miami thing counts. You've donated millions.
Yeah, but that was more like the Calais Campbell thing than the CRC Foundation.
Oh yeah.
But between the CRC Foundation and myself, we've donated millions of dollars, which is pretty cool. That's a good feeling to know that you can help people in need and do something that's gonna I guess make a difference in this world. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I was blessed with a lot of knowledge, a lot of experiences that were special to help me develop, and I feel like I can share, just give blessing people with knowledge and resources to be able to develop to their full potential. Then that's my real purpose. Like what is all this for? What is the point of being a successful athlete? I'm just an entertainer at the end of the day. Football, as beautiful as it is, what it represents is amazing. How it brings communities together is amazing. But at the end of the day, it's a children's game. That's all it is, a children's game. Somehow or another, people enjoy watching to the level where we can get paid millions of dollars to do it. But at the same time, I know at its core, the real purpose in life is what you do off the field, what you do in the community. And the CRC Foundation means something to me because that's my dad's legacy. And, at the beginning of this, we talked about adversity. And I think the hardest thing I've ever really had to overcome is having a great, fantastic dad for 17 years of my life and then just being gone just like that and having to adjust and cope with the change of not having that person you depend on be there anymore. But the one thing I want to do is create something in his legacy that he will be proud of, that represents what he stood for. And that's what we're doing at the CRC Foundation about helping people.
Appreciate it, man. Well, thanks for having me. I know you just had your ESPN interview, Inspire Charlie interview, probably a little bit higher. I don't want to talk about it, but thank you again. This is amazing stuff. I can't wait for everyone to kind of hear more about the incredible stories you have.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, later.